then what is the personal requirements of the applicants. All these things are considered while we are analyzing for a job, or rather we are performing job analysis. Then on the basis of job analysis, what will next thing is we need to do selection process. Right. So the first step basically is we need to get a job description and job specification. So description tells you what is the your title. Okay. Whom do you need? Do you need a manager or a senior manager or a peon or an accountant? Right. Description, what is his job, what is his work has to be done. All these things will be given from the description, and specification will help you identify what are the essential requirements and what are the desirable requirements. Okay, sometimes they will be same, but most often they will be different. Okay, you'll have something extras will come in as desirable requirements. Okay, essential requirements will be there, that will be common throughout, right? So we know. So the next thing we see for the system approach, right? The system approach to selection. So as we said, selection becomes one of the most important elements, right? Because no matter what our plan is, what our organization is, without proper staffing, we cannot perform, right? Because staffing will directly have an influence on the performance of the staff, and that will finally translate to the performance of the company itself. So staffing becomes very important. We need to be very careful when we are doing staffing, right? So what has to be, so that is we have to follow a systematic approach. Okay, we need to follow a systematic approach. That is what we have said. Like we have to perform the analysis and we have to perform the selection process, right? So during selection, what is selection? Selection means choosing the best possible candidate, right? The best for the job. So he may be from the company itself or from within, from outside the company. So the placement or selection process may be for an immediate requirement or for a future requirement. So while doing selection, what and all we'll do? First, we have a job in we'll form a job description and job specification, and then based on that, we'll send out the application forms. Okay, so application forms it acts as a screening mechanism. So only the candidates with the required qualifications, okay, required traits only can apply for the job. So that acts as a screening mechanism. So once applicants are being screened, they will be subject to some tests, right? Maybe an aptitude test or a trait test or psychological test. Trait test means something related to maybe a software, maybe an equipment, or maybe something else, right? Maybe repairing. If the job is for a maintenance worker, he may be asked to repair something, right? So once that is done, once he has proved that he is qualified enough in the test, then we'll move on to the interviews, right? So interview means basically it will be a conversation. So here the interviewer, he might be single person or might be a panel. They will judge your abilities and capabilities, right? Then if needed, there will be a physical test, physical examination may be there. Then you will be inducted and oriented. You will be placed in the company. You will be set. You will be introduced to the policies of the company. What are, who and all are there? Whose responsibility is what? You will be given an idea, and you will be asked to work, right? So this is the basic step. So every company should follow this thing itself. Okay, this procedure should be followed. So when we are applying system approach to this system approach, as we know, we have four components or four elements. We have an input, we have a transformation process, we have an output. Okay, so the outputs will act as a feedback mechanism to the input, because based on output we can again change the input for the next cycle, right? So that is basically the feedback mechanism. So similarly, in the case of selection, how this selection this systems approach works is, first thing is we should have a plan, right? We have manager requirement plan should be there. So based on that manager requirement plans, we'll have the position requirements and job design. Okay, and based on the position requirements and job design, we'll have individual characteristics, right? So this will be the input. Okay, that is, as you said, we are having an office in Kannur. We are going to open an office in Cochin. Okay, so our plan is, company's plan is to expand. Okay, our objective is to expand. Our strategy is to expand. Right? We need to get into more and more areas. So that's our plan, company's plan, company's objective, right? So that based on that, we are now having an office in Cochin. So there, the personal requirements came in, right? So to maintain an office or to run an office, we need a manager and we need 2 staff. Okay, so that becomes our requirement, positional requirements. So a manager comes in, a manager should come in, and 2 employees also should come in, right? So that becomes the requirements, position requirements. Now, what are the jobs to be done? So the manager has to do certain jobs, 1, 2, 3, right? Or A, B, C. The manager has to perform job A, B, and C. The employees has to perform job X and Y. Okay, so that becomes job design. Job design we'll see today in detail. Job design basically what is it? We are putting the task together. Okay, we are putting the task together and telling what is the method to complete the task. Okay, what is the method to complete the work? That's job design. We are designing the job basically. So from the term itself, we are designing the job. Okay, then the next step is based on we know the manager has to perform A, B, and C. So that shows his what that will show him that will show us his requirements. So he has to perform this A. So what are the requirements to perform A? Maybe he should know a software. Okay, he has to perform the task B. So requirement it may be he should have an experience. Okay, he must be having an experience of 10 years. So similarly, we'll have the individual characteristics. So all these things together should forms the input. So this is the input of our system, right? Okay. So once this input is given, then we have to effectively recruit and select the person. Okay, maybe placement promotion will also there. Okay, but effectively we need to recruit and select. Okay, promotion means then also we are selecting someone. We had said earlier, selection means not only choosing the suitable one, but also rejecting the unsuitable applicants, right? So effectively we need to perform a recruitment selection process. So this becomes our transformation process. Okay, input is the transformation process. So while we are doing this transformation process, what we have to take care is what we have to keep in our mind is the internal and the external factors. Okay, environment, internal environment and external environment should also be kept in mind. Okay, what is the company policy? Okay, how do we run the thing? Okay, so that thing has to be what is the company policy, company procedure, what is the staff ratio, all these things has to be taken into consideration as internal. External means what is external, what is the government rules, what is the other factors has to also be considered. So they will also have an influence. Okay, external environment and internal environment. Okay, because when you are promoting someone, the internal environment is changing, right? So that it has to be considered. So, the external and internal environment will have an influence on the recruitment and selection process, right? And this leads to the transformation. Okay, so once the transformation process is completed, then the new person, okay, the new manager has been chosen, right? He has to undergo orientation, and orientation he will be told what he has to do, who he has to report to, who and all works under him, what are his tasks, right? All these things will be set to him, right? So he will know what his role is basically. So once that he start working, okay. So manager starts performing. So manager performance comes next. Okay. So once he is performing well, his performance will translate into company's performance. Okay. If he is performing very well, the company will be also doing well. Okay. Based at least from his point of view. So he has done all his job. So it just be company. So it will translate to company's role also. So sometimes what happens is he is performing very well, but the company is not doing well. So there we can identify what are the weak links. Okay. So you can change the. Okay. So that's the next thing. Okay. So appraisal and rewards. So we need to assess his work. Okay. We have to take into consideration his work. We have to take into consideration the company's condition also. Okay. Based on that, we'll do the formal assessment appraisal. We'll assess the work. Okay. His work is also considered. Company's standards also considered. Both of these things together we are considering, right? Then we'll after forming the assessment, we'll get given the reward. Okay. So the reward he may be promoted. Okay, he may be demoted, right? He may be replaced. Replacement, he may be terminated, and or he may be forced to undergo retirement. Okay, we have seen say a case. You are not performing well, so we are not firing you because you have been working with us for so long. So you can undertake a voluntary retirement. Okay, so this becomes the output. Okay, clear? So the promotion, the rewards, okay, not only benefit but process also will be there. So that is the demotion, replacement, or retirement. All this thing becomes the output, right? So this output will have a will act as the feedback. So we know this person was worked very well. So whenever we are interviewing for the next person, what we'll be doing, we will be looking into that kind of a traits in that person. We need this kind of a person. Okay, so that will affect the individual characteristics, right? So individual characteristics will be taken from that. Okay, similarly, the company is not doing well, or the company is doing extremely well. Okay, our question office is doing extremely well. So our plan is, our plan is to expand, right? We can do more and more expansion. So we had one manager, now we can have two more managers. So new position requirement came up, new jobs opened up, right? Or sometimes what will happen is we may have to shut down the office. So that's also the position requirement. We had a opening for one manager, but unfortunately the company the branch is not doing well, so we had to close the branch. So sometimes the manager may be extraordinarily efficient person. So the company may not terminate him, we will transfer him to other department, okay, other branch. Sometimes he might have to be terminated. That will again depend. So this will also affect our company's requirement plan, right? Okay. So whenever we are doing the appraisal and rewards, we will be taking certain things development. Okay, when those certain persons or certain policies has to be developed. Okay, we can see the person is good performing good. Okay, or the person is performing bad. He may be good worker. He may be a bad worker. So sometimes the good worker might need a little bit more of extra encouragement, maybe a training. Okay, a little bit of training. So that can be done during the orientation program. Okay, so we have a development process also during orientation. So while the next person is appointed during the orientation program, we will use this development also. So based on the appraisal of the other work who all we had previously. Okay, maybe say example we are having a software. Okay, let's say for your Linux. Okay, so everyone doesn't know. So if a new person comes in, he or she might not know all the functions of the software. So during the orientation program, we'll have a 1 hour development session where the person will be introduced to the software itself, right? So that can be set as development. Clear? System approach. The system approach is basically what we do is I'm sorry. Okay, in system approach, what we do is we are the selection process, the job analysis and selection process, we are in the systematic manner. Here, any system will have 4 elements: input, transformation process, output, and feedback. In the process of selection, or when we apply the system approach to selection process, what will happen? The input is your the person, okay, the job requirements, the individual characteristics, okay, that will become the input. The transformation process is the recruitment selection process itself. Okay, how are we selecting? Interview, the exams, the medical test, all these things, the trade test, all this thing becomes the transformation process. So during that, we have to take into consideration the external and internal environmental factors also, right? This thing has to be considered. Then once he has been undergone selection process, then he can be placed, then he will be given orientation. Then he'll perform, his performance will translate to company's performance. Okay, it will influence his company's performance also. Okay, so next step we'll take into account his performance and company's performance also. So sometimes he will be performing very well, but the company may not be doing good. So we cannot give the what is the bonus he deserves. Okay? He said, sorry, we are not, as you know, our company is not performing very well. So we'll be withholding your bonus this year. Next term, we'll be giving you the added bonus. Okay? Or we'll be promoting you. So if he is okay with it, he'll continue. Right? So that has been. So the appraisal process is done. And during appraisal, we'll identify many process has to be developed. That is, the policies or procedures in company has to be changed. The development will influence the orientation process. Right? So the result of the appraisal, that is the promotion or the demotion or the retirement or termination, will be the result of the appraisal. Okay, so once that is done, you'll have that will form your output, and these output will influence your input. That will come. They have a feedback system. Okay, feedback means it will influence the requirement. Okay, personal requirement, position requirement will depend. Our plans will be influenced, and our selection process will also be influenced. Clear? This is system approach for selection. Study it using this flowchart. Study it. Okay. Clear? Right. So we have been saying a term recruitment many times. So basically, what recruitment is, it is the process of searching prospective employees, okay, who suits the job requirements of the organization and stimulating them to apply for jobs in concern. So what is recruitment? Recruitment is basically, I am having an opening. So in our restaurant, we need a chef, right? We need an Arabic chef. So I am searching for an Arabic chef. Okay, I am searching for a prospective employee. So he should meet my requirements. So maybe what my requirements is, that is, one is we are having an Arabic cuisine. So he should be in charge of the Arabic dishes. And then my working time may be from this time to this time. So he should be able to work in this time. Okay. Maybe I will be providing the accommodation. So maybe I may not be providing accommodation. So all this thing is my requirements. Okay. So who suits my requirements, the organization requirements. And it's not enough that I am searching. So, okay. A qualified enough person should apply for my job also, for the job opening also. So I'm stimulating them to apply for jobs in France. So I may be giving out advertisements in newspapers. I may contact some of my friends and say, okay, yeah, I'm having the opening. If you know someone qualified enough, please let me know. Please send him to me. Okay. So I'm also stimulating them to apply. So when a person sees a newspaper or someone sees an ad in the Facebook or Insta, you see, okay, there's an opening there. Okay, I'm qualified for this. So he may apply for the job. Okay? So recruitment means searching for prospective candidates. That is searching people who meets my organization requirements, and also stimulating them to apply for the job. It's not only just that I am searching, good person should come to my apply for my job also, right? That is recruitment. So I need to give you a proper description about recruitment rather than saying, right? So the next topic is job design. So we have said, right? In this system approach, we have seen position requirements and job design. Okay, position requirement may be a manager. And now, what are the job design? So, what is job design? Job design, the process of organizing tasks, duties, and responsibilities into a unit of work to achieve the organizational goal. Okay, so what are we doing? We are grouping. Okay, we are grouping various tasks, duties, responsibilities. Okay, all of these things are being grouped into one, and we are giving it a title also. Okay, that is suppose in your project case. Okay, when you are doing your project, you have 4 members in your group. So what will you do? You'll divide the work, right? So you'll be saying the person A, okay, or member 1, 2, 3. 4 members are there. The member 1 will do task A, B, C. Member 2 will do C, D, E, F, G. So you are giving each member some tasks. Okay. So job design means the process of organizing these tasks. Okay, these tasks are not only tasks, they're duties. Okay, what and all are duties? Okay, sometimes you might have to take a reading. Okay, they have to come in the morning and they have to take the duty for reading. So that becomes their duty, and it's their responsibility to maintain the record. Okay, you may be doing a project, maybe you need weather data or a rainfall data. So you have set up a rain gauge. Okay, you have set up a rain gauge in the and you have to take the rainfall data. So what will happen? So you have assigned one person for the job. So your job is your task is to get the prepare the rainfall data chart, right? So his duty is to go every day in the morning, take out the measurement. Okay, and his responsibility is to make the chart and keep the record. So record keeping becomes his job. So basically, that is job design. We are organizing the task, duties, and responsibility into a unit. You can see, we'll say a site engineer, okay, or a programmer. Okay, the programmer has to do this thing, has to do 1, 2, 3, 4 things. So that when you're joining the company during the orientation, you will say you have to do this task 1, 2, 3, and 4, or work 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it has been done. It has been designed by someone else. Okay, based on your caliber, and the company's policy, the task might be formulated, okay, organized. That is job design. So here it is organizing of tasks, duties, and responsibilities. Okay, that is into one single unit. And what is the if we complete the job, our organization goals will be met, right? So job design defines the various tasks required to do a specific job and the method of performing the task. That's important. Okay, you not only said you have to do the job, but how do you have to do? Okay, you have to do the job also, but how do you have to do? That method is also specified. Okay, in your case, you have to write a physics examination. Okay, earlier what you used to do when we had offline sessions, you will be given the paper. You will have to write your name, roll number, the front page. Then you will complete the exam within the time, and the teacher will collect it. And the tying of the twine, you will multiple papers will be tied, and you will be done with the exam. But now today, what is now during the online session, you need to write the once. So during the online examinations, you have to report 15 minutes earlier, right? You have to report 15 minutes earlier and give you attendance, right? Then 5 minutes before, you'll be given your access to your question paper. You can download your question papers. Once you download your question paper, you write your examination. Then after that, you have to take the pics, photograph. You are given instructions, right? You need to take the photographs. You have to write the name and roll number on all the pages. Then you have to take the photographs or scan the document. Then into a single PDF file, you have to make it. Then you have to upload it. Right? And so your question paper will be assignment 50 or assignment 51. Right? All these things have been told to you. So how you are going to write the examination? The method of writing the examination is known to you. So by the job design means, so your job is to write the examination. The task is to complete series examination 2. Right? And how you are going to do that, the method of performing your task, it is also defined. So that becomes your job design. So job design establishes the relationship that should exist between the job holder, his superiors, subordinates, and colleagues. Right? If you are having an issue, you can contact your staff. Okay. Sometimes what will happen is during the verification, other teachers will also be assigned. Right? So they will also help you with it. So it's a relationship. Who is answered to who? Right? The relationship between the subordinate and the job holder, his colleagues, and his superiors. Relationship. Now, what are the steps involved in job design? The first step is basically we do job designing 3 steps. Step is specifying individual tasks. So, what are the tasks we have to do? Right? Specifying. So this means the different tasks to be included in job are specified and categorized. Okay. What are the different jobs you have to do? All these jobs are identified are included. So being a coder, you have to do your task A, B, C, and D. So I need to identify what are the tasks you have to do. Okay, so these tasks are identified. So then I'll give it to you. It's as your job for your project. Maybe among yourself, I'll say, okay, this person do this thing, this person do this thing, third person do this, number 4 do this. So I am dividing the job and giving. So I different tasks and what are the different tasks? Okay, individual tasks, what has to be done? They are included in the job. They are specified and categorized. Okay, what is the maybe as the difficulty level? It will depend. Then specifying the methods. Now what you have to do? Okay, so you have to do the do a software analysis, and you have to use this particular software. Okay, maybe there may be other softwares available. No, but you have to do this software. Maybe we'll say PPT, right? PowerPoint presentation. There are other softwares where we can prepare a presentation, right? But I'm saying I need PowerPoint presentation. So you have to do it in the Microsoft PowerPoint itself, right? But you could have used some other open source softwares. No, I have specified that I want you to do this in this thing. That becomes your task method. The specific method is to conduct the various tasks identified, and it provides the basic guidelines to perform the job. So what I have to make sure is you have the access to the computer. You should have the access to the software. So I have the basic guidelines. Okay, the methods to conduct the various tasks are identified. It provides the basic guidelines to perform the job. Right? That is the step 2. Step 3 is combining the job with the task. So I identify the task. I identify the method. Now I'll combine all the tasks into a job. Okay. After specifying the individual tasks to be included in a job, they are combined in a group and assigned to individual employee. So these things I identified A, B, C, and D. So A, B, and C, and D has to be done. So this is a job. All these different tasks I combine it into a job, and then I give it to one person. Okay, that becomes the job. Okay. So what is the importance of job design? Job design, it contributes to organization effectiveness. Okay, we are designing jobs. Okay. Suppose we are related jobs are identified. We are putting it together. We are forming a good job. We are forming a good design. Then it will improve our effectiveness. Our efficiency will be improved. Enhances employee satisfaction, motivation, involvement, and commitment level. Okay, so I am properly designing. Okay, I'm not adding two unrelated jobs. Okay, unrelated tasks. I'm adding properly. I'm designing. I'm adding only the related works only. So the employee will also be satisfied. So if he is doing a job according to his profession. Okay, so what is his need? What he has studied. Okay, so what happens? We will be studying something else. We will be working on something else. Right. So that may be the case. But if I am properly designing the job, I can make sure that the person is doing the job according to his qualifications, his interest, right? So it enhances the employee satisfaction, motivation, involvement, and commitment, right? Helps in cost reduction by eliminating the causes of accidents and injuries through enhanced health and safety measures, right? So what happens is, see, I have identified the task. Okay, these tasks have to be completed. Now what I'm the next step was I have identified the method also. Okay, so in order to do this thing, what is the best method is this thing. Okay, in order to take a reading, best method is to use this instrument. Okay? Why am I identifying the task and the method also? So by doing that, I can eliminate any causes of accidents and injuries, right? Because I can assure the safety measures. Okay, I can assure health and safety measures in the system. Okay, whenever I'm designing the job itself, I can ensure that the health and safety measures are met. Maybe working in a site, you might have seen in high-rise building, we'll have a net, right? We'll be setting up net system in the bottom level, not in the middle level, because if something falls down, okay, it may not be an employee, but maybe a tool, maybe a brick. Okay, if it is falling from the 10th floor, so a person may be standing in the ground level, he will be gravely injured. But because I'm designing the job, I can make sure that there's a possibility that the person is working in the 10th floor story also and in the first story also. Okay, ground floor also. So there's a chance of this thing. Accidents can occur. So what I can do, I can make sure that all the employees wear helmets, right? All the employees are required to wear helmet, or all I'll put in a net. If that is the case, I'll put in a net also. Okay, so that becomes my I can ensure I can implement health and safety measures. Okay. Now, what are the factors affecting job design? That is first and foremost is our requirement. Okay, our requirement, that is how quality of the work, our production, all this thing will depend upon the job. Okay, so if I have number of my employees are less and I have more tasks to do, then what I'll do, I'll give employees more and more job. So that will lead to a bad design. Okay, so I have to make the optimum. Okay, I have to reach an optimal level, right? Then individual likes and dislikes. So I have to consider what is the person's. Okay, maybe a highly qualified person may find doing certain jobs menial. Okay, he may not like it, but there will be a person who can do any jobs also. So individual preferences are to be considered. Then technology available, right? What is the technology available in my company, and what is technology available for the in general in the market? Right? Technology has to be considered, right? Then structure, organization structure. How many persons are there? How many are working there? This thing has to be also considered. Okay, clear? So, what is job? Job is a process of organizing tasks, duties, and responsibilities into a unit of work to achieve organization goals. So, we are identifying various tasks to be performed. Yeah, and finally, what we'll group them and give a name. That is a job. Okay, basically, we are identifying tasks, we are identifying the methods to perform the task, and then we will group them and give them a name. So, it establishes the relationship between that should exist between the worker and the his superior, or worker and his subordinate or his colleague. What is the usually job design is done in 3 steps. Step 1 is specifying the individual task. I have to identify what and all are the individual task. The next step is after identification and individual task, I'll categorize them. Okay. Next step is I need to identify what are the methods available to perform the task. Okay. So it will give me an idea for how the work has to be done. Right. So specifying the methods become second step. And the third step is combining tasks. I have identified enough numbers of tasks, maybe 5 tasks I have identified. So 5 similar tasks. So I'll put the 5 tasks into together and name it as a work. Okay. So see what measurement. Okay, in the site I need to measure what how much of work has been done. So measurement, that's taking the length, breadth, and height. Then ordering for the materials. Then overseeing the concreting, overseeing workers. So these are 4 different tasks. So I'll say all these 4 tasks has to be done by one person, and he will be named as a site engineer. Okay. So now each and every task has to be performed. I'll tell him. Okay. Whenever you are ordering a material, you need to follow this procedure. Whenever you are doing this, or you have to call this person. Okay. That is how job design is done. Okay. So importance of job design, it contributes to effectiveness, enhances employee satisfaction, motivation, involvement, and commitment level, helps in cost reduction because I am planning for in the job I can effectively maintain safety and health measures, right? And what are factors affecting job design? Requirements, then individual likes and dislikes, organization requirements will be there, then individual preferences will be there, technology available, and organization structure also. Okay, a small topic is there, that is a comparison. We have 2 terms, job analysis and job design. Now, what is the difference between them? Job analysis is the process that identifies. Okay, job analysis is the process that identifies the task, duties, responsibilities, qualifications, skills, knowledge, etc. for an individual job. And job design is the allocation of tasks on an employee or group of employees or for an organization, right? So job design means we are identifying the skills, the tasks, the duties, responsibilities, everything for a particular job. Okay, and job design means we are allocating this task, we are organizing the grouping this task. Okay, so we are identifying the task for a particular job, and that becomes job design. Okay, so identification of work task to be done and organizing of this task is become analysis, and organizing becomes job design, right? So we'll stop here today. So please let me know if you have any doubts. If else,